Even though the cruise is not over yet, it's not over yet. We're still at Ocean Key, still having a great time, getting ready for dinner. It's about half an hour from now. I'm going to start packing up my bag. I already got the disembarkation information, so might as well make the, work easier on the back end, and then when it's time to come back and put the luggage outside my room, it'll be no problem at all. So plan on doing that, but let's pack up a little bit first, and then it's dinner time. I've gotten about 80% packed at this point, and I felt the aft thrusters come on. 5:48 p.m. I'm going to go ask somebody about that lighthouse show because I really want to know the answer to it before we go to dinner. And then our final dinner of the night, I'm going to bring a little tip for the server and the assistant server. I know that there's a service charge, and I already checked, and that's already been added, which is great. But I feel like, they did a really good job. So a little extra for them, and then we'll be on our way. But yep, there go the thrusters. Right there. Yep. Definitely can feel it in this room. I'll tell you that much. I was up at 5:25 or so, and felt like the room came alive. All right, down we go. I think you can probably hear it here too. You can hear that? That's the aft thrusters. The entire rear of the ship shakes. It's a really loud rumble. I'm pretty sure you can hear that, especially compared to some of the other videos I've done in this corridor. Yeah, that's it's loud and shaking. If I didn't know what that was, I think I'd be a little concerned. Honestly, it's pretty intense. Even the stairways are shaking. I'm like, you stand here like, I hope it doesn't rattle apart on me. Bye, Ocean Key. We'll see you real soon. Nobody's waving at us, but we'll wave. Now, like most cruises, that very last evening's the time to get those photos. You can see a lot of people are here to get their pictures. Just spoke to guest services. Really nice as always. Apparently, this is kind of a strange itinerary for them. Usually, they go to Ocean Key twice. She called it Ocean K, so I may have been saying it wrong the whole day. That's fine. But they didn't this cruise. So we're not staying overnight or late, so there's no lighthouse show. So we'll have to catch that on another MSC voyage in the future. Here's our dinner menu. We've got some of the mousse right there. That was the recommendation. The salad sounds pretty good too, though. The Niçoise salad was also recommended, and the swordfish as well. Not sure if I'm feeling like swordfish, though, so maybe I'll get the short ribs. We'll see. And then the gâteau opera was the recommended one. On the Disney ships, it's always opera gâteau, so I'm going to get that confused, I'm sure. But yeah, it looks like a good dinner tonight. Here it is, the Greek and pear salad. Last night here, I was told it's pretty good, so we're going to try it together. I will let you know. Want to take a guess at how I'm going to describe this food? Yeah, it's okay. The cheese is great, goat cheese with it. The salad itself actually tastes a little bit on the older side. The almonds are good, and the cheese is good, but the leaves themselves taste a bit older, to be honest with you. Some are fresh, but mixed with some older ones. Just not my all-time favorite meal on board. Now here's one I'm very excited about. The short rib for dinner tonight. It's the entree item. It looks really good, like super delicious to look at. I think visually this might be the most visually appealing item that we've seen on board so far. Let's try it and see if it tastes as good as it looks. We found it. Finally, we found the item that I can say, this is good. This is really good. I would get this again. I would recommend it. The short rib for dinner in black crab. I don't know what the grits are, but it's grit style. That's fine. The short rib themselves really tender. Flavor is really good. Not amazing, but really good flavor. The broccoli and vegetables have great flavor to them. They need to mix more of like that sauce, whatever it is, into like the depth of the short rib itself. But this one I would absolutely get again. I think this is the best food item we've had on board. I know I've said that a few times, but I think it just progressively got better as we went through. So this one definitely takes the cake. I'm going to eat the whole thing. Yeah. I'm going to correct myself from earlier. I've made my way through about 3/4 of it now. I'd go out of my way for this. The MSCU did it. I would go out of my way for the short ribs on board at the black crab. Again, now that I've had more of it and mixed it all together a little bit, the sauce with the grits, I don't know what this is called, the yellow grits, goes perfectly. Absolutely perfectly. And yeah, just everything about this dish is delicious. Tremendous flavor, incredible consistency, really well cooked. Go out of my way for it, really do enjoy it. And yeah, I don't think I'd change anything. The only thing I really don't like is the blue cheese that much, but I just kind of moved it to the side and didn't eat it. You know, it doesn't take away at all. I just kind of scooted on over. Yeah. Here it is, the final piece of dinner at the final dinner for this MSC cruise. The Gâteau Opera. Is it going to be amazing? Is it going to be the best ever? Will it follow up to the short ribs? Only one way to find out. Extremely good. extremely good. Really soaked. They have this method they use back there for soaking the cakes. So it's really saturated. Great chocolate flavors throughout. Not too heavy though. It's nice and light. You can really enjoy it. Kind of put it in the sauce a little bit. Really, really good. A great way to wrap up dinner here. I would recommend this one too. I really would. Gotta say that was a great meal. Really enjoyed it. The salad I would skip, but the short rib was delicious. I do again. It was so good tonight. So good. Thank you. And the dessert was outstanding. Oh my gosh. So yeah, both of those I recommend highly. I'd go out of my way for the entree, short rib for sure. I gave the tip to the server and the assistant server. You could tell they really appreciated it. Oh, the last night. There's a loose sandal right there. That's just happened to notice that. But the, this has been a fun adventure. It really has been. It's different than other cruising we've done before. And I'll go into more detail in a follow-up video. But at least for me, this is another cruise line that's an option for cruising to different destinations, right? As I mentioned earlier, when you think about like Europe or Mediterranean, maybe your favorite cruise line doesn't sail there all the time, and you want to have other options throughout the year. Finding these other cruise lines is a perfect opportunity to sail to new places. The last show for tonight is called Grande Amore, which is more of a classic MSC show. I don't know if it means like it's like an opera or something, but I'm really looking forward to it. They said it's more like this kind of show that they do in Europe as well. So that'll be cool. We're gonna go that way right now. We got a whole tour of the ship coming, but the Lulula Piano Bar. Check this out. Sit down here and then the stars move around above you. Love that. The theming around here is great.
And then I worked for a cruise line where there were children
bashing other cruise lines. Not a fan of that.
Everywhere, children everywhere. A cruise line whose company is built off of a giant cartoon rat.
Grande Amore. It was fine. It's just not what I'm used to when I see live performances at sea. I'm used to like sets moving around and like a story behind it. It was just Italian songs, which I got to admit, the Italian songs were good, right? They were good songs, right? Some I recognized too. They were great singers. The dance, some of the dance routine, there were two dancers who were incredible. But just not what I'm used to in terms of shows. Probably wouldn't go out of my way for it. One thing I do want to mention, and I don't really want to say who because I don't want anyone to get in trouble. Before the show starts, usually someone introduces what the show's all about. I was going to ignore it because first night it was some inappropriate comments about, relationships and couples and all this who are together and then, divorce. It was very inappropriate. And then today, which really put me off, was conversation about how other cruise lines were bad and just bashing other cruise lines. I don't like that. I am fine with you saying you're the best cruise line. Totally fine with that. I have no problem with that. We're the best because of this. Let's all do that. I'm fine with that. But to bash others and say that they're all bad and we're the only good one didn't sit too well with me. I don't mark that on the whole company or the whole cruise line fleet. Those comments were inappropriate. And I don't think I'm the only one who thought that way. So I'll let them know in the survey. As the cruise is winding down, I want to give you a couple of my follow-up thoughts on MSC. The food, as you know, was only okay, right? Most things, except for tonight, I wouldn't go out of my way for. And I don't think that's really what they're known for, but they are a growing brand, so this is an area that they could improve easily. The ships themselves, or at least the Divina, keep in mind there are lots of ships and more coming soon, and apparently they have more orders in than any other cruise line right now. Don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I heard. They're nice, but not an outstanding design. They look like that white milk carton that the Disney company was trying to avoid with their ships, just as an example. That being said, some of their newer ships, I've seen pictures of them, they look pretty cool. So, something to look forward to there. The biggest appeal, by far, is the price. This cruise, 3-night cruise, if I was to compare it to the one that I know best, Disney Cruise Line, I could go on between 3 and 4 of these for one Disney cruise. Doesn't mean that's what I recommend, right? Doesn't mean that's what I'm saying you should do, but that's really their highlight here. They're looking to bring you some fun adventures to safe places at an affordable price. And I think they do it pretty well. We've talked about some of the things that I haven't loved that much. But keep in mind, my standards for where, cruising and all that are really high. So even though I say that this thing, it could be different, this could change a little bit, it doesn't mean I didn't enjoy it. It doesn't mean that I don't recommend it, right? I still can recommend MSC Cruising. I really can. I have a feeling I will be back. Is it my first priority? No, but I think the newer ships, once we try those, I think they have the potential to start becoming more of a priority cruise line in the future. Ending the night like this is spectacular. I mean, just spectacular. Look at the water. It is like glass. If you look way out in the distance there, you can see another cruise line. I do not have my binoculars with me, but maybe we'll get close enough to see which one it is. Look at this. Just look at this. This is where I cruise right here. Just take that in with me for a moment. I love it. Absolutely love it. Here's a benefit to having internet at sea. I know from checking my phone that right there is the MSC Seashore, which is a newer ship than this one, more recent, more modern. Maybe we'll try it one day in the future, but it's crossing our path right over there. It's nice to just be able to go online and check that. Here in the garden area, in the evenings, it really clears out, and there's very few people in the pool, but just enjoying this. Looking around? You still looking? Yeah. Panoramic views over the rear of the MSC Divina. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And we can see many ships out there in this area. We're actually off the coast of Boca, I believe, at the moment. Last time I looked at the map. I gotta tell you though, I have more thoughts on solo cruising. For the vlog, for me to share it with you, that's fun, absolutely. But as a recommendation to you, I'm not sure I would recommend it for everybody. And I will have a follow-up video on this, kind of going into more detail on it. I think for a very select few, maybe be good, but I think you need a specific personality to go with that, right? You need to be the kind of person who enjoys being by yourself. Like, it's totally fine. I enjoy being with others. I enjoy being with close friends, family. So for me, most of my cruising will be done with others, but solo adventures, they are still going to happen. And I still like them. They're still a piece of it that I really do like. I get to experience it more with you too, because I don't have to feel like, I'm entertaining anyone. I'm just get to experience it, just you and me. But this night, you could not ask for better. You couldn't. I could say, can I have a better night? Be like, you got it. This is it, right there. Nothing like beautiful weather, slight breeze, not too windy, slight breeze, and a gorgeous sunset with calm seas. You literally, I can't get over it. This is one of the huge reasons why I love cruising. Like, you're like, oh, you're so obsessed with cruising. Yeah, this is why. Just spoke to a new friend, Jessica, who follows the channel. Very nice teacher from New Jersey. And she said that her 3-year-old does like the kids club. I wanted to mention that a little bit because, again, I don't have any kids, so I don't know exactly how it is. But apparently, her 3-year-old, Jessica's 3-year-old, did enjoy it. She called it chic. Good to know. Relax in the room for just a minute. Now I'm going to take one last sloop around the ship and stretching as I go. Been missing a bit of the nightlife because I'm trying to take it easy. And today's been pretty good. I'm only going to take a pretty quick loop just to show you some of the nightlife. Lots of seating still available. There's a family disco happening right over there with some of the kids. I have to admit, this sailing is not super crowded, so if you don't see large groups of people, that's why. Another great musician here, but I figured out why, maybe I'll make it halfway and then go downstairs and then maybe I have to call it a night. If you didn't see my other video, the reason why I look at my watch with the miles, dealing with a Achilles issue at the moment, but I am slowly recovering and I'm doing my part via the doctor's orders to stay off it, so I'm about to go back to the room. That's a fun club. This club going by right there, enjoying their time. People are wrapping up, grabbing a final drink or coffee, or just enjoying some of the live entertainment here on the Divina. Well, we made it halfway. That was fun. There are definitely some fun parties that happened, and there are even more happen throughout the ship. We'll have a chance to experience even more of those on a future sailing for sure. But I'm going to head back to the room now and stretch out my Achilles a bit, and then finish packing and put my luggage outside the room because tonight's the last night. Made it back to the room and I got a charge list here of the things that I bought with my cruise card while I was out and about. And it says that I have to go to deck 5 or 6 in order to pay the balance before I depart in Port Canaveral. So probably can do it tomorrow. I may go over there in a bit after I stretch it out a bit and maybe put some Voltaren on and give that a try to kind of clear that charge. I don't know what happens if you don't pay it, so gonna try and get that done. Needless to say, this has been a spectacular adventure, and this is just the beginning. We have several more cruise lines already booked to go on in the not-so-distant future, and I'm looking forward to sharing every moment with you. Let me know what your favorite part of the adventure was in the comments below. Was it the food, finding something that was delicious finally? Was it Ocean Key? Or something totally different? Maybe just being on a new ship that you've never seen before? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. A huge thanks to our patrons for making all of our videos possible, and thanks to you for watching. Until next time, have a magical day, and I'll see you on board. It's like 10:45 right now. Kids running up and down the passageways here, just knocking on doors, screaming, yelling. Not my favorite way to end the adventure. Just wanted to note it for cruise experience so that you have an accurate representation of what this adventure was like for me.